LinkedIn is not Facebook. It's not IG. It's not Twitter. So Facebook is made for a socialite lifestyle. LinkedIn is made of a corporate. I get that. There are people that I know that have got over a million. Like my colleague Trust has got over a million. But the impact that you create in terms of your visibility, that is what matters. Yeah, so you could post content and the impressions are not doing okay. That is all right. And keep on with consistency. That is why we are building your visibility. People treat LinkedIn as a job board. LinkedIn is not a job board. The posting of the jobs are the byproduct of what the platform is all about. LinkedIn is a platform that we can leverage in terms of our career growth and networking, as well as we can use it for business leverage, where we can also interconnect with different kind of professionals. Not everybody likes to have to find time to start creating content. Now, so if you feel to say that is not your thing, it's okay. You can focus on just engaging with other people. That is all right. Yes, with time, you get to know which niche or how you're leveraging the platform. Yeah, but should you struggle beyond that, there are sessions where you can now learn. If it's YouTube, you can say, oh, I'm not good with posting. How do I post? There are many platforms that teach about etc. on what kind of content to post, what time, and all that stuff. Remote jobs are real, they're 100% real. And as well, we live in the cyberspace. So, in as much as they could be authentic things, there are also some that are not genuine. So, the moment that you begin to want to differentiate what is genuine and what is not, we always encourage that you check the website.
Hello and welcome to the Money and People podcast, the show where we connect the dots between financial success and the power of human capital. Today on the show, we are joined by Vincent Simuchimba, and we are going to be talking about LinkedIn optimization for career growth. Welcome to the show, Vincent.
Thank you for having me today. We
Okay.
appreciate. Sure.
Okay. And before we get into the heart of the conversation, for those who don't know you, who is Vincent?
So Vincent Semichimba is basically popularly termed as Teacher Vincent. So basically, I sit in the spaces of career development and also in HR spaces. So this is my field. That's where I'm found basically. So if termed as Vincent, in HR as well as career development spaces.
Okay. And how did you come to be on this journey of career development as well as HR? Is it a career path that you always wanted, or is it something that you gradually grew into?
I'm coming from the teaching background actually. So I think in my teaching background, I was very passionate. I think with teaching, obviously something that was spotted during my early times when I was in high school, because I could sit down and just have to tutor other friends in school. So that was picked up by my grade teacher and said, I think you can do well in teaching. So I did not know what I wanted actually to become. From all the way from the seventh grade, my friend could have career attires. I didn't even know what to put on. So I think at the 11th grade, that's where my teacher said, I think teaching could be okay for you. I think that's where I sparked the interest in. And from there, after I graduated high school, I picked it up in the teaching field. Yeah, so the career spaces came in about because of the career guidance that we do in teaching. So I'm found to be a person who loves to listen to people. If people, I'm the go-to kind of a person. So somebody has a problem, somebody do not know what to do. So I was that easy kind of a channel people could reach out to, and I could be able to be of help. So that's where I was pushed in that space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think is something that people usually misunderstand about LinkedIn?
At many, it's very funny because people treat LinkedIn as a job board. LinkedIn is not a job board. The posting of the jobs are the byproduct of what the platform is all about. LinkedIn is a platform that we can leverage in terms of our career growth and networking, as well as we can use it for business leverage, where we can also interconnect with different kind of professionals, and as well as position ourselves as industry experts in different spheres where we belong in. So the mistake that I see most of the times is looking at it as a job board. I think that is where the misconception comes about. And that is why you find most of the people, especially in our country, they refer to it as the too corporate. That is doesn't sit well with them because they cannot. They usually see it as a place where they can find job opportunities, as opposed to the side of connecting and also just positioning themselves in whatever sphere that they're engaged in. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is instead of viewing it as a job board,
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be a space that we can connect with
Mm-hmm.
other
Yes.
professionals
Mm-hmm.
and as well as position ourselves
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
certain spaces, maybe
Mm-hmm.
as thought leaders
Yeah.
or okay,
Mm-hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. And what's the most common mistake that you see people doing on their LinkedIn profile that you normally come across?
I think I'm looking at there are many mistakes I think I even see from seasoned professionals that feel that their profile is well optimized. They usually feel that having a background banner, also having a headline and a good profile picture they take in the corporate space, they feel as if that is the 100% of what they've done, and that is the common mistake that everybody's making. But when you're using, there's an app we use in recruitment. It's called a LinkedIn Recruiter. So we don't search for the background banner. We don't search for the profile picture. We don't search for the, that tag that people put like the open to work. We don't search for that. So when you're using the LinkedIn Recruiter, or even when you're using an ATS system, you'll find that we are using based on the search results and the measurable things that somebody is able to do and the keywords. So these are things that we're using, but not everybody has knowledge that this is what we're looking out for. So the common mistakes is that people set up the profile by having just a background banner. If they do very well, they'll have a background banner. And others, if they do well, they have a profile picture, and they will also have the headline, and that is what they'll do. And that is just like 0.5% of what needs to be done on a profile, actually. So that's a common mistake that I see that many professionals are making, actually.
So, for someone who's watching this and they've never even heard of the word optimization, what do we mean by the LinkedIn is optimized or not optimized?
Okay, simple terms, are you easily be able to be found? If I was to check somebody who's in finance, would you be a peer? So it's more like our friends that use search engines, like they call it CEO, like search engine optimization, isn't it? So we're simply saying that if I was to search for a particular candidate who's got experience in finance, if I searched for a keyword to say finance, will you appear? So you find that you can be in finance, yet it doesn't appear because what you put there, you only put maybe you're studying a bachelor's degree in Zika, and which will not come to appear on the profile. So that is basically it. Is searchable. Are you searchable? Are you able to be visible enough for people to see you?
Okay. So I'm guessing for you, it took interacting with LinkedIn for a while to be able to understand these things. And what we find is that most of us will just go, we watch maybe a TikTok video or a video on YouTube, someone telling you, put on your open to work,
Yeah, true.
make sure you put a professional photo, make sure you do this and that. What does it take for someone to really grasp that type of content that needs to be on your LinkedIn for it to be optimized? Do they need to go through a course? Are there specific things? Like if there were three key things that someone can do today, simple practical steps in order to optimize their LinkedIn, what would you tell them? Because again, it's that kind of thing where there's so many social media platforms
True.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I agree.
People
Yeah.
are on Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok, and they begin to see this as okay, this is just another platform. And also, it seems very
Yeah,
serious for
true.
some people.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not willing to do the research or put in the work. So, if there were like maybe three things that you could tell someone, like, okay,
Yeah.
this is the lazy person's cheat code
Okay.
to acing your profile, what would those three things be?
I think the the most primary things I would say, work on your headline, have a profile picture, and if there were three, I think they would not be enough. I think
Yeah.
there could be four would be okay. So the a professional headshot picture, and we refer to headshot, and should be corporate, should have a neutral background. That is one key part. We can have a headline. Let's have it with not being in vague. You should be able to explain who you are, what problems you solve, and what expertise skill set that you carry, that you have. So that could be better way as well. Let's have a about section or the summary. You know, the way we have on the who we are on the CV, that is transferable. We can take it there. Apart from that, on the work experience, let's have key searchable words on duties that we are performing. So these will be the simple steps that for somebody who's just starting out. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. And would you say that LinkedIn optimization is about the keywords that are in your headline, about, banner, or it's more about the story that your profile is telling? Which
Uh,
one would you prioritize over the two?
I wouldn't say you should prioritize any one of them. So basically, it's what you're referring to. Is it the keywords or
Story.
the stories? I think both. I say both because keywords will get you found. Like, remember that I said that with a LinkedIn recruiter, the system that we use, right? So the keywords will get you found, but your story will get you to be remembered. Because most of the times, people that get to me, I've never met some of them. Some could be of Kenya, Uganda. These are people that I've networked with. So most of the times they come to me, hey, I heard on what you posted, I heard your story, and they like. So while the keywords, if somebody typed CV, I'll be able to appear among those CV experts. So I get to be found. But my story on how I like train people, talk to them on how they can go about it, gets me to be remembered. So I would recommend that both could work ways. If we can leverage on both keywords and the stories, that would be better. That is okay.
Okay. So if I am someone who is struggling to
Mm-hmm.
find a job, I've been in the job market,
Yeah.
applying to different job boards,
Mm-hmm.
how can I use LinkedIn strategically to be able to connect me to an opportunity? If, for example, I'm a recent graduate or I even have experience, but maybe I'm stuck in a job I don't like. So how
Okay.
would I approach LinkedIn? Like if I've not even had an account before
Okay.
and I just come and it feels overwhelming, how do I start to use it as a strategic tool for my career growth?
I think the best part that you can do is we're not expecting you to be an expert, like a LinkedIn optimizer writer like myself. So, what I would encourage you to begin to do is you are stuck in your career. You're just trying to see what is the next move, and that is okay. Career development is not one broad way. I keep telling people. So, over the time, sometimes you want to change. So, what you begin to do is to identify what kind of industry captains can I look up to, or what industries do I want to get into? What kind of people am I going to connect to? So if you are my kind of a person that deals with finance and everything, I'll begin to look up to you because you've gone ahead of me, that I've set up this kind of like podcast. So I'll be related to you because you share certain things that you have. So that is the key number one that I would look for. Look for people that have gone ahead of you or a space that you want to get into. When you do identify, begin to connect with them. So you need to begin to learn how LinkedIn work. What does she post? How does she post it? What is she doing? My role there is just to learn. Maybe I can take a week just to see what you're doing and the activities that are happening. So that will give me a leverage of the learning phase. The moment I begin to learn, I need to engage as well. So the time that you post something that resonates with me, I'll share the key takeaways, and as well as even actually say, I picked this reason lesson because of ABCD, or if I did not reason with what you said, I can counter react. That's okay because we're professionals. If I say something that does contradict with what you believe in, you can share respectively. So in that way, helps you now to begin to become visible as well get to be known, because the way LinkedIn is actually set up is that you can actually get more visibility by commenting and engaging than posting content. Actually, it gets you more visibility like that. I think with time you gain the leverage of being known by people, and as well as I think just networking with other professionals as well. Yes, I think that could help if you are stuck, but that could also come with a bit of more coaching. You just want to understand who you are, where do you go, what are other things that you can do beyond the kind of the current job, and what is making you to feel stuck in the position that you have. So such conversations surrounding that could help us to know to say, okay, if you're approaching LinkedIn, are you approaching it as a job seeker? Are you approaching it as a consultant? Or are you approaching it as a solution solver where you position it as a business, somebody who sells a skill and people can get to you? So because LinkedIn is set up in a different way, there's an individual LinkedIn, there's a business LinkedIn, there's also a consultant LinkedIn, and many other parts. So these are the three common ones. So once we understand this, it can help us to know how we can get you stuck out of the position that you are in.
That's interesting. I didn't even know that there were different sort of pages that you could
Oh
open
yeah.
on LinkedIn. And also, one other important thing that you brought out is the fact that commenting really helps grow your network.
Yeah.
I think what one of the things that one of the things that drives that is the fact that when you post, it's only probably your network and a
True.
few others who might see it.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah,
Very
but when
true.
you comment on someone else's post, you're
Yeah.
exposing yourself to other people's
Very
networks,
true.
and they'll now be able to click your
Yeah.
profile and
True.
connect with you in that way.
Very
So
true.
I think that's one thing that people need to learn is that while you're posting your own content, you
Yeah.
also need to engage with
With
other
other
people's
people. Very
content.
true. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Okay. And you do talk about remote opportunities.
Yeah.
How often or common are these remote opportunities? I see there are some people who say, oh, I got a job remotely and LinkedIn helped me get
Yeah.
it. But there's also a growing number of people that are discouraged because they've been applying for these remote opportunities that they've been seeing on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
but maybe they're always getting rejections. Are these remote opportunities really there, and how do we tap into them?
Okay. The remote jobs are real. They're 100% real. And as well, we live in the cyberspace. So, in as much as they could be authentic things, there are also some that are not genuine. So, the moment that you begin to want to differentiate what is genuine and what is not, we always encourage that you check the website. If the website is recently created, that creates red flags. You need to check out because that could not be genuine. And sometimes you can also counter check the company profile for how long it has been in existence, so that can help us. So remote jobs are there, they're real, and people, the only way that you can get to leverage on them is by being active and also subscribing to particular platforms that you feel remote jobs are there. You know that LinkedIn has got groups as well, isn't it? So you need to be also to belong or just to join in certain particular groups, because that is where all those jobs are being posted for you just to leverage on. Competition is there. I don't want to lie, but I think when you do have the skill set that is required for you to do the job, I think you have no competition. And also it also carries with the static part of your activity on the LinkedIn part, because the good part about a LinkedIn, what makes it different from a CV, is that your CV is static. Your LinkedIn profile is a mobile. It's able to talk because it's filled with activity. So sometimes actually remote jobs will be coming to you. People will be following to you. Recruiters will be coming to you as opposed for you applying for them. So activity part is what can enable you for people to offer you remote jobs. Actually, I've gotten more of them actually, where people come and say, hey, we've seen what you're doing. Can you be part of the team of the recruitment side on the remote side, because we know where you are, you're far. So activity as well enables you just to leverage on that part. And I also feel that if apart from activity, for you just being with a certain teams, or maybe let me say your network that you have, they usually share those kind of things. That is what I've seen. If they share the repost, that you can leverage as well just to get on the same as well. That also helps for you to get hold of, because you know that this network, even then Saudi Arabia, you know that they're a recruiter and you've been following them for a period of time. You know they couldn't post something that is not genuine. That could help you as well.
Okay, I like the part that you talked about. I found it interesting where you're saying some of these remote roles, they can actually be looking for you. But are there particular skills that are more required for remote roles? Or me with my CV today where I am, I can just go ahead and apply for these remote roles? Or are there specific skills
Yeah, yeah.
that someone needs to have for them to be able to land the remote
Remote job.
roles?
Not precisely per se. So I think one of the most important part that you need to have to a remote job, like I've done some of them for about I think 2 years now. What is important is communication. You need to be somebody who's very skilled with communication skills in terms of both written and spoken as well. And also, you should have a stable internet network, because you're not going to give excuses for people like you didn't send a report because you said, I live in this particular country, network was down. That will not be taken. As well as building trust is very important. So, soft skills are more of the remote part. The hard part of skills of how to do the job, the technical part, are lesser. Unless if you say for particular kind of fields or industry like yours, yeah, those might be required. But I think start with communication skills. You start with a bit of building trust on an activity level. That will be handed over. That is what has worked for me. Yes, and that's what I've observed working for other people, that we get to share on remote jobs. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And There are some mistakes also that some people might be making that are disqualifying them specifically from remote type of roles.
Mistakes are quite a good number that I've seen, but some that I'm usually observing that remote jobs. But I think we could attribute it to poor communication. I think network coverage, these could be the ones, just the opposite, I would say. As well, I see the reporting time on the KPIs. I've seen some recruiters have complained over the same meeting the targets, so some performance usually poor. So some people could not take them up. I think these are some of the things that I've heard people complain about on the remote part of the jobs.
Okay. And on the other side, I think I do see certain remote job sites.
Okay.
They say they claim to be hiring remote globally, but it seems there's a preference to certain regions. So, would you say that people in Africa or even in Zambia, do they actually stand a chance? Because there are certain job boards that seem to maybe only be specific. Like
Yeah.
you find a job says remote, but it says remote US, remote UK. Are there some specific remote job boards that prefer people coming from certain regions or time zones? And how can we also just position ourselves to still be able to tap into that?
Okay. So we cannot control on the recruitment side on the decisions on what kind of preference of region they want, because that is the recruitment decision that many people make. Yeah, what I've observed is that we're doing a recruitment actually for a particular in the Saudi Arabia. So they said they wanted staff team from this region, but they couldn't get from other. But we did have other region in our surrounding countries, but they said no, we just want people from Zambia. And when we asked why, they gave us the reasons why. So what we've realized is that because preferences are made because of the work ethics and also culture, that makes people just to be attracted to such. But sometimes it could be due to time zones. That's why people never want to get excuses of A, B, C, D. Yeah. So positioning ourselves, yeah, it's possible to position ourselves so long we build on our visibility. Like I said, if you build your LinkedIn profile, you don't have to apply for jobs. People, recruiters will begin to look for you actually. So even when you apply, the first thing that they do, they will do basically what is known as a digital footprint screening. So they have to run and just see who is this person, who is Richard, what is Richard doing, what are the content of posting. Then they've said, oh, they do have the social media proof. Then they'll get to you, despite the region that they're done, but they'll be able to give you the job because they've seen the activity that you are doing on the LinkedIn profile. So the key is work on your activity on your LinkedIn profile. That is what will get you to be remembered. Yeah.
Okay. But also with the activity, sometimes people feel that it's a bit fake. What I mean by fake is you have to post content, you have to
Okay.
engage,
Yeah, sure.
but sometimes it feels like people are doing too much, exaggerating their achievements in order to seem like they
Yeah.
are producing certain outcomes. So how do I start posting and engaging authentically without starting to feel the pressure to exaggerate my achievements or what I'm doing in my job?
I think it's just a misconception about LinkedIn, and I think it's just the understanding of the platform. Like I said, um, we need to differentiate that each platform works in a different way. Look at IG, look at Twitter, look at Facebook. You see, hey, so we need to begin to respect the way a certain platform works because that is the way it has been made to work like that. So if you'd want to meet at a level of where people say LinkedIn works in this way, you also need to begin out just to be, like you said, be authentic. LinkedIn is not always the time that we have to share our successes. We can share our failures. Personally, myself, I've met colleagues who tell me to say, I think you become too vulnerable on social media. Why do you share such? I say, because I don't want to be fake. Because if I failed, there was a particular time I did not do well, I need people to know. Somebody can learn from there. So it's not only for your success, you can share your mistakes, you can share your lessons, you can share even other things that you're not doing well or your insecurities as well. So just be yourself. You don't have to be a content creator that you post all the time. It's not about all the time that you're posting in a week. No, actually, sometimes you can just be intentional. Be a thoughtful engager. If somebody posts something, comment. thoughtfully, not just comment anyhow, thoughtfully and intentionally, you get to now people to make that kind of leverage on visibility on yourself. Yeah, so we don't have to feel overwhelmed. Yeah, I know it feels like that because you find that this is a young person, master's, PhD, and you look at yourself and you sometimes you feel like you don't have a degree. Some feel like this is not the thing for me. I hear such kind of comments. Yeah.
And if someone was just starting to build their audience, their engagement,
Yes, ma'am.
would you say there is a specific maybe number of posts they should be doing in a week, or maybe should they be commenting on other people's posts every single day? How do you think about the whole frequency of posting? Is there a science to
Insane.
it?
I don't like the science. Many books have written different science part of it, but I don't believe in the science part. I just believe in when you get on a LinkedIn, if you're the first time user, just see how others are using it. Just know who you are and why you are using LinkedIn platform. Everybody who's on IG, there's a reason why they're using it. Everyone who's using Twitter, there's a reason as why they're doing
Yeah.
so. So if you get on a platform, just know why are you on this platform. Is it for career growth? Is it for networking? Is it for jobs as well? For you to be visible. So if you get on the platform, just know your why. What is your why? You are there. So when you are there, when you know your why, it helps you now to avoid all the noise and other things. So when you get to learn how people are doing things, commenting, the number of posts of content you need to post are not necessary. That is for me. Now, it might not be the standard, but they're not necessary for me. Just be yourself. When you begin to learn on how it is working, you know what there'll be a time the intuition will tell you to say, I think this is the time I can also share my journey, how it is going. But if you are the type who loves to write, that is okay, right? If you're the type that does not like to write, because not everybody likes to have to find time to start creating content. Now, so if you feel to say that is not your thing, it's okay. You can focus on just engaging with other people. That is all right. Yes, with time, you get to know which niche or which what how you're leveraging the platform. Yeah, but should you struggle beyond that, there are sessions where you can now learn. If it's YouTube, you can say, oh, I'm not good with posting, how do I post? There are many platforms that teach about etc on what kind of content to post, what time, and all that stuff. Yeah, but just be yourself. That is what I believe in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from the recruiter's side, what do you think would make a candidate memorable? What would make you want to go into someone's LinkedIn mail and say, look, I noticed that you have ABCD. Would you be willing to discuss this role? What's that one thing that would make a candidate stand out for you just from their LinkedIn?
I think it's clarity and value. When I look at your profile, I know what you stand for. If I was to open your LinkedIn profile right now, if I would look up your name, I'll be able to see your clarity in what you're doing, your journey that you're leading currently, and what is the value that you're actually offering. So for me, if it does align with what we are looking for, it pairs, we'll get to you. If it simply means to get into your DM, we'll get to you. If it simply means because some people are not responsive on LinkedIn, they're just there, then it's offline, they're never there. We'll catch up, we'll come to your office, we'll come and visit. I say, hi, I'm Vincent. I read your profile, but unfortunately, I couldn't get all of you. I'm just here for ABC and like that. So for me, clarity and value is what attracts to some of us in recruitment to get to a person that much.
Okay. And for me as a person who's using LinkedIn, how do I translate things like the number of likes I'm getting, profile views,
Okay.
impressions? Does it mean that I should be hitting a certain number of impressions for me to know that I'm doing well on LinkedIn, or is there like a certain number I should be working towards?
Okay. It's just the social media pressure, I think.
Yeah,
You don't
because
need
people
it.
feel discouraged,
Yeah, you know,
I
yeah, yeah,
post,
yeah.
maybe I only get one like,
Mm,
maybe no one is commenting on my
yeah.
posts and
That's
I feel
LinkedIn. That's
discouraged.
LinkedIn.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what would you say about the pressure to have the likes and the comments?
LinkedIn is not Facebook. It's not IG. It's not Twitter. So Facebook is made for a socialite lifestyle. LinkedIn is made for a corporate. I get that. Number one, like you talked about the likes. Maybe you talked about the impressions. You talked about the following. I have the list of the following actually. I have about 18.7 followers. Very little. There are people that I know that have got over a million. Like my colleague Trust has got over a million. But the impact that you create in terms of your visibility, that is what matters. Yeah, so you could post content and the impressions are not doing okay. That is all right. And keep on with consistency. That is why we are building your visibility. So with consistency, if you begin just to share, you will see you are going to build a particular tribe and community. So likes should not be the concern. They are good for your ego to feel good to say, oh, I've gotten this number of likes. But the question is, did you hit the impact of people? And also impressions are also good as well, but they also should not be the key part while you're doing that. You know, when you're doing something naturally, you have this podcast, even if it did not hit a certain number of views, you still wake up with your team and come and shoot. Why? Because there's a particular goal and objective that you have why you're doing this thing. Your why is stronger than the certain things or your likes and the shine that you have. So these do not matter. Yeah, so likes, impressions, or following, this should never be the key factor why it should be discouraged. If you know your why you're in that platform, your consistency one day will pay off. I started, I think, with 0 followers. I was literally actually blank. I did not even know to say I need to put this part here, put this part here. But it took workshops. It took me just checking what people are doing, and that has been my greatest lesson. I think following industry captains that are in my field, teaching as well as getting on workshop coachings online. So that is what positioned me, and I think I'm grateful. Sometimes I get a 0 like even with my 8.7 followers. It sometimes I get that. So does it discourage me? No, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay. And where do you see LinkedIn in the next 3 to 5 years? How do you see it as a tool in our professional lives?
I think LinkedIn platform, I continue to tell people that it has always been of the blessed platform that it has ever been created among any other, not overlooking other platforms. Years from now, I'm seeing a tool that would be able to bring about a change in the way we do things. And it's going to, I think, enhance the way we conduct business, the way we also do our recruitment. So some of us, our career development is going to be easier, and also learning is going to be easier. So this is basically the platform where we're seeing it years coming from now. This is the platform where all of us will get in and just try to see how do I leverage from this that has come, especially with the coming of AI now. How do we are going to use LinkedIn with AI that has come? So I'm seeing it as a platform that is going to have everybody on board, because it's a platform that everyone is tending to learn, especially in Africa for most of the young people. So I think that is where it is heading, per se, if I was to answer in that way.
Okay, and you just preempted by my next question because I was thinking about AI.
Okay.
Can we use AI in order to optimize our LinkedIn, and how?
Yes, you can, 100%. I use AI. So like I said in my when I began, like way back, we used to do CV writing, and it would take us about 2 to 3 hours to create a particular CV for you. But with AI, we do have a particular prompt that we can create, and just ask to say, I want you to create ABCD on ABCD with this kind of result on ABCD. This is the experience, these are our skills, and this is the standard. And LinkedIn, with the blink of an eye, in a minute, it will pop everything up. Now, you being an expert in your industry, you know what's supposed to be there and what's not supposed to be there. So you begin to re-edit. So yes, you can actually use, and people like me have created actually LinkedIn prompt optimization that could make it easier for people. So whenever I'm conducting sessions, I share this optimization prompt. But if it's not so difficult, you can actually do it on any AI platform, Gemini, Bard, or anything like that, or ChatGPT. You basically have to tell it to say, oh, I want you to work on my profile, on my about section, do ABCD. I want it to sound like ABCD. That is okay. So yeah, we are using AI. AI is here to stay. It's not here to take anybody's job. So we just have to leverage and work with it.
Okay. And if listeners are to remember one thing from this episode about LinkedIn, what would it be?
LinkedIn is one of the platform everybody should get on and learn how it works. because it's one of the greatest platforms that can help us in many ways, business, careers. And this is the message that I continue to say. Nothing cliche or anything, but LinkedIn is a platform that all of us can just get on and leverage on a lot of opportunity, especially if you're a young professional. There's a lot to learn from LinkedIn, and there are many people actually that can get to know us as opposed to the network circles that we have within ourselves. LinkedIn can provide such a global platform as opposed to the circles that we have actually for people that could need our skill sets.
Okay. And what are some of the services that you offer in order to help people with LinkedIn or career growth?
Okay, so basically we do CV writing or resume writing, remodeling, and even starting from the scratch. We also offer job search coaching, as well also offer career development services. That intends on somebody being stuck, and among those, it's the LinkedIn optimization coaching sessions what we conduct. These are basically the platforms, and then overall, we are into recruitment. So these are basically overall the services that we offer, ma'am.
Okay, and how can people connect with you?
Basically, if they are connecting personally to me, it's Teacher Vincent on all platforms. That is basically the brand name that is used. But LinkedIn has got another account that is known as Simchimba Vincent. But the rest of them is Teacher Vincent, including TikTok and everywhere. It's Teacher Vincent. Yeah.
Okay. Teacher Vincent,
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
so much for having joined us on this episode of the Money and People podcast. And for you in the audience, what has stood out for you? Are you inspired to optimize your LinkedIn profile today? Let's interact in the comment section. This has been Delia and Vincent on the Money and People podcast. Thank you.